Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today we have Rob on his long absence from the hobby back on the channel, and we see the forces of the Primaris Space Marines take on the forces of the Drukhari in this open war mission. The blasted landscape will be filled with dead bodies. Let's get started.
Flipping of the cards.
Okay, so we're going to do the flipping of the cards. That's what we're going to call it.
All right.
We're going to flip the game off. So it's open war. So we have a objective, deployment, and a twist card that all get picked. And then the person with the lowest power level gets a ruse card. So that's after all armies have deployed though. So we're playing on this cool little battlefield. Some line of sight blocking, some area terrain. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I guess we can each do one. So deployment style, we shall go for, fancy deployment. That looks really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you're the one in the middle.
I hope too, actually.
That'd be a very themed game. Invasion. That's kind of like with the Koner campaign.
Yeah.
Literally, invasion is like the theme of the week. So that's kind of cool. Players roll off. Objective marker in own deployment zone. So if you control both objective markers, you win. Ooh, nasty. So it's like essentially Eternal War, but Emperor's Will, one objective each. And then the twist. This game, something fancy will happen. Acid Rain. Subtract 1 from all hit rolls made for shooting attacks, and subtract 1 from all advance and charge rolls. On a 4+ at the start of each battle round, the rain stops, or it starts again if it wasn't raining. Ooh, that's crazy. It's raining acid. Okay, so an acid rain tears up the barren wasteland as an invasion of sorts happens while whoever's in the middle defending is getting invaded by whoever's not in the middle. Okay, let's come back after we set up deployment. Okay, and here is 1250 point, 60 power level, Primaris Space Marines. Rob, take it away.
So at the front here, we have 2 units of the brand new Reavers.
Ooh, they look cool.
They're both 5-man squads.
That one and this one?
Yes.
Cool. I like them. They look really nice.
Thank you.
You got like crack grenades, frag grenades,
and the new
bolter
shock
pistols,
grenades.
shock grenades, whatever that does.
Behind them, we have their Valiant Chapter Master,
Aha!
Pedro Cantor.
Ooh, fancy.
A stand-in model for him.
Yeah, nice conversion.
Thank you. Next to him, he has a Psyker, Primaris Psyker.
Yeah.
And then on his right, a Primaris Lieutenant.
Very cool.
Flanked on either side by Intercessor squads.
So Intercessor Squad number 1 and Intercessor Squad number 2.
You can see behind them you have the Dreadnought.
The Land Dreadnought.
Venerable Dreadnought. He has a twin last cannon and a heavy flamer.
Very cool.
Then a Hellblaster squad.
Lots and lots of plasma goodness.
Lots and lots of plasma. Yep.
To finish it all off,
The Hunter. Sky Spear missile launcher.
Very cool. So some anti-flyer, anti-tank. Okay, so cool looking army.
Thank you.
You've been collecting Primaris for a while?
As soon as they came out.
Nice. And you usually play Guard, right?
Yes.
And Death Watch.
Yes.
Awesome. So there's something different?
Something different and something new. Hopefully I can test them on the battlefield.
Okay, awesome. Let's see how they fare. Okay, folks. 1250 points of Drukhari. So the army is led by a Homunculus and a Succubus. Homunculus has an electrocorrosive whip. Succubus has an Archite Glaive. Trueborn with blasters. Then we've got 3 troops. We've got 9 racks with 2 liquefire guns. We've got a 10-man Cavalite warrior unit with a Dark Lance and a blaster. We have 5 Hellions and fast attack. And we also have 5 Mandrakes in the shadows. And the other troop is 9 witches with a Shardnet, an Impaler, and an Agonizer on the Hecatrix. For dedicated transports, we have 2 Raiders, one with a disintegrated cannon, one with a lance, and then we've got the Venom with 2 splinter cannons, and to round it all off, a Ravager. So that is 65 power level, but 1250 points. I'm really looking forward to playing against a full army of Primaris Space Marines. I've had one experience against them. They were really tough. So looking forward to seeing how this stands up to that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think I should watch out for? And who do you think will come out on top in this open war mission? And we have come back after deployment to find an encircled Primaris Space Marine army trying to defend this vital point of the battlefield, while the Dark Eldar are attacking from all sides. We've got a Ravager over there. We've got the Rax and Homunculus and some Kabalite warriors near our objective, which is back here. We also have the Witches and a Venom back here. The Hellions back there. And the Mandrakes hidden in reserve. And we've got Plasma Squad. 2 units of intercessors holding the line. Pedro Cantor back by his venerable dreadnought, the Stalker, and then of course we have a Librarian, a Lieutenant, and 2 units of Reavers ready to push up on the Dark Eldar objective, putting the pressure and using the best form of defense, which is attack. So, I did finish deploying first. They did have an entire circle, it's 24 inches around, and I had like from half to half, so I essentially had like triangles. I don't have to put them all over the place, but I decided to do that just to put some pressure on Rob. Now I do want to go first, so we shall see if he successfully seizes the initiative. And that is a 4. The game begins with the Dark Eldar, Drukhari, taking the initiative. Let's see what happens after this. The Dark Eldar began their attack with the concealed Kabalite warriors, this Raider with a disintegrator cannon, both liquefiers inside, that Ravager in the corner, all firing into these Reavers and killing 2. We got 1 down to 1 wound because my Lance rolled 1 for damage. Definitely feeling the acid rain with that -1 to hit. It's been pretty brutal. I did put 4 wounds on the Venerable Dreadnought though, with a combination of fire from the Lance from the Kabalite Warriors and the Blasters from the Venom Trueborn. The Witches are over here, and I did shoot some at these Hell Blaster guys, but they haven't lost anyone. So the Space Marines do not need morale, they do not fear death, and they take on the Dark Eldar advance in full stride. What will they do? Will they split their attacks and go back here to stop the assaulting Witches and Venom? Or will they push forward towards the Dark Eldar objective and challenge the Homunculus Warlord? What will Pedro Cantor do? Let's move on to the second turn. Turn 1 for the Primaris Space Marines, led by Pedro Cantor. They maneuvered around the defensive position, opened fire into this Venom, killing the Venom and all the Trueborn inside. Even with the -2 to hit, the Dreadnought's twin-link glass cannon did 6 wounds worth of damage on it, laying it low. In other shooting, this Kabalite warrior unit has taken some casualties, and it lost another model to morale, while the Reavers have charged in. With the help of a smite and some shooting, it is down 4 wounds. It is still fine. So the -1 acid rain really doing some work on the defensive and offensive capabilities of our armies. But on a 4+ at the start of every game round, we roll. On a 4+, for this turn, the rain will stop. The rain stops this turn. We have to roll again to see if it starts next battle round. Okay, as the rains dissipate, the Dark Eldar will sally forth from their transports and bring the Monkai low. Drukhari turn 2. The Reavers did actually take 6 wounds off that Raider. It was crazy. The Raider did not explode. So now the Reavers are free, which is dangerous. I did do some shooting on the Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought survived with 1 wound remaining. in combat, I did move my Rex and my Homunculus out. They did kill the Lieutenant, and I put 3 wounds on this Psyker with my Electrocorrosive Whip and all the attacks from the Rex. But now they're going to have to survive a charge for some Reavers. And then the mega charge into the super defended position held by Pedro Cantor. You can see his flag over there. Everybody died except for 1 witch, and I killed 1 intercessor.
And
And 1 Hellblaster, because this raider, because they fly, remember, I can charge up to the 2nd level of ruin, so I was able to charge in. Oh no! And 1 got impaled by the shock prow, which is pretty cool. And then another shooting, I brought my Mandrakes in to harass, and my Hellions in as well. So we'll see how well the army does with the Space Marines in a good position after turn 2. What will happen? Will they kill all the racks over here, or will they go for the bait over here? Let's see what happens. Okay, turn 2 for the Primaris Space Marines. All the racks have died, but the Homunculus did lay low the Librarian before the end of that combat, as Pedro Cantor makes these guys really nasty. These guys took out the Cabalite Warriors. They charged in, killed them all, but with a shock grenade stopped them from shooting Overwatch, which is pretty cool. My Ravager has taken 7 wounds from a combination of a twin-linked last cannon from the Dreadnought and the Hunter, while my Mandrakes have lost 2 of their number as well, with these bolter intercessors firing at them and taking positions around the objective. Meanwhile, this witch cut 1 of the intercessors down, and the 3 left failed to kill her. And the Dreadnought whiffed on its attacks and only killed 1 in shooting and 1 in combat, so there are 3 Hellions left. My Warlord is alone. My Ravager is wounded. The objective over here is up for grabs. And the position here is one of strength for the Space Marines. What will the Dark Eldar do as the game goes on to turn 3?
Onto my turn 3.
Okay, end of the Drukhari turn 3. The Mandrakes charged into the Stalker and held it there. They are -1 to hit, so the Stalker can't even hurt them in combat, which is kind of cool. The Hellions did shoot and do a wound, and then charge and kill 2 of the intercessors down here to help the witch out, but they did die as the other intercessors murdered them. The 1 Hecatrix is still alive. And meantime, my Homunculus is alive with 1 wound left after killing 1 of the Reavers. And we're moving on to Primaris turn 3. I did kill the Dreadnought as well. Okay, what happens during this turn? Will the Homunculus die? Will the objective be taken? Will the Ravager finally die? Will the Mandrakes get slaughtered? It looks bleak for the Drukhari, but I am a cagey player, so we'll see what happens after this. The Primaris Space Marines have dispatched of the Homunculus, killing him with their super combat blades. They have a lot of attacks. Over here, 1 more wound on this raider, while the Hecatrix did kill the other sergeant. She is now free to do what she needs to do. Cantor charged in, killed all the Mandrakes, saving the Hunter, and with the ruse of tactical reserves, the Space Marines have brought in the Dreadnought once again. A reserve! They brought it in right at the end of the game, and they get to regenerate a unit that was destroyed. So the Dreadnought fired into the Ravager, blowing the Ravager sky high and taking that objective. So, if I don't take the Dreadnought off that objective, the Primaris Space Marines will win by holding both objectives. So we shall see what happens. He's got a lot of models over here, and he's only got 1 model within 3 inches. So I have to kill the Dreadnought, which is impossible, because I only have 1 lance. So we shall see, well, at that point, we shall see what happens as the Dark Eldar sense defeat. What will they be able to do at the end of the game? And that is the end of the game as the Dark Eldar reel from the Primaris Space Marine defense with Pedro Cantor at the front and center, saving the Primaris Space Marines from being taken back to the gladiatorial arena. So the Space Marines have taken this objective and they have taken this objective, and as such invoked a sudden death victory. The defense of the outpost on the barren wastelands was successful. Make sure you stay tuned for the Tactical Corner. I'll talk about the game and a little bit more about the strategy and tactics involved. Open war mission can really be a very interesting way to play the game, as you have to build a very tactical and flexible list that will be able to go through a variety of different scenarios and still come out on top. Other than that, this was a really fun game. Thanks a lot, Rob. Really appreciate it. And do you have any final comments at the end of the game?
I'm very much enjoying playing the Primaris Marines. They're very stalwart. I underestimated how the numbers would stack up because there are less models, but there's still the same amount of wounds. But it was very fun. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, playing 40k after hiatus. Awesome. Well, stay tuned. Thanks a lot to all the patrons of the channel, like Rob, who support the content that I create. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned as the asteroids are here. I'm very excited. I got a custom-made table from Talented Lad Studios, and I cannot wait to showcase it to you guys. Leave a comment down below, share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. This is Skari, your grateful host, and we will be back for you, Mr. Primaris Space Marines. We shall return.